Thank you for joining us. It's Nicole and Dave on Perfectly Twisted. Okay, hopefully this will be like my last episode where I'm sounding like I'm in a tin can. So I apologize to everybody. I contacted Shure microphones, and they literally said, we're expecting it today. And that was like day before yesterday.
Yes.
It took that long to get there. So they said we can turn it around and get it back to you pretty quickly. So let's just fingers crossed. I tried. I got one of those USB mics that everybody's using. And for some reason, through StreamYard, it was giving feedback. So I've reverted back to just my computer sound, and here we are.
It's all right. It works.
Personally, it annoys me. Like listening back, I don't like it. So I can imagine how the listeners feel when all the other podcasts sound so amazing and the mics are right there, and this one, just pretend. Remember the old trick with the tin can and the string?
Yes.
Just bear with me and pretend you're talking to me like that.
There you go.
For the next hour.
All right. Did you get new glasses? Are those new glasses?
These are. Yes, they're actually not new. I think it's the first time I probably am wearing them here. But they are from the same company that is on my Instagram. And you can go and you can order them, and you can use Nicole Eggert and get 10% off. The links are in my bio. If you go up into my link tree on my Instagram, it pops open and it has all the links. There's links right there, and they're inexpensive. They're on Amazon. You can buy packs of 3. So this came in like black, green, and red. Really cute. And you pick your prescription, and they're readers.
Okay.
Yeah, really love them.
Good deal. Good,
yeah.
Good. All right. I'm just curious. I'm a shoe guy. I buy a lot of shoes, a lot of hats. So glasses. How many pairs of glasses do you think you have?
Too many.
And
I really have cut down, and it's to a point where it's on they're in so many places. You might think you just walked into an optic boutique. And like my dream is, I love shoes too. So shoes is a problem for me as well. There's shoes everywhere in my room. My dream would be to have a wall of like an acrylic rose. It was clear acrylic holders, just rows and rows and rows. And of course it had to have like a cabinet that opens because I don't want them to get dusty. And just have an entire wall of glasses. Girl can dream.
That's it. That's it. I noticed. You got to give me credit for noticing.
Yeah,
that's what I'm gonna say. So I did notice. That's funny.
Yeah, didn't notice my haircut, but my glasses. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't.
Oh my gosh. So I wanted to ask you, because last week you went in the direction, you started the show off with sports, and you went a little LeBron James, but you got into the World Cup. You talked about the excitement of the World Cup. A week later, now that the United States isn't in it anymore, are you still have World Cup fever? Are you still following it?
Okay. It's funny that you say that, because yesterday I got really kind of confused and kind of threw my hands up and walked away. I was like, I don't know. I don't get it. So, what happened where something feels like somebody cheated or something? Somebody feels...
We cheated. The United States cheated.
Well, with the red card, you're talking about the red card thing, right?
Yes.
But then didn't something else happen in the next game that USA didn't have?
With Argentina? That's the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
So the way it is in soccer, there are a bunch of things in soccer that don't seem to make sense in sports in the United States. And this is one of my complaints as a sports fan. The clock runs the wrong direction in soccer. It runs up instead of down. So in NFL and NBA, it runs down to 0. And you go, hey, when it hits 0, game's over. Well, in soccer, it's supposed to run up to 90 minutes, and then they add time on because they never stop the clock for all the BS that goes on during the time, whether a guy's laying on the ground or whatever it is, and they'll go, okay, we're going to add 4 minutes or 6 minutes or 11 minutes. And it's just like, I got an idea. Why don't you stop the clock when it's dead time or the ball's out of bounds, and then start it up again when the ball's inbounds and we're playing? It just, everybody knows when it gets to 90, or if you want to run it back to 0 where it makes sense, we can all follow instead of randomly going, hey, game's over now. It feels like, and it's up to the referee on the field. So it feels like, hey, what if he's rooting for Argentina or has money in Argentina and he's giving them more time to come back and win? You know, it's kind of, it doesn't feel clean. So
well, Dave would be illegal, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. All right. We're getting back into the sports betting combo here. Okay.
So what happened yesterday was there was a penalty. They waited for the play to play out, and then by the time the play played out to stop it and go, there was a penalty way back then. Guy stepped on a guy's foot. Well, they scored a goal, so they would have been up 3-0 over Argentina, and which is almost impossible to come back from. And what happened was the 3-0 turned back into 2-0, and then Argentina scored their goals and they won. And that's why people like, well, why didn't you stop it? And soccer fans will say it's just the way it's always been. And people in the United States who are following along don't understand, going, you know, that was 48 hours ago. What do you mean you're calling a dead time for before that? So that was the complaint. That's the cheating part. Our part, the United States part, was, which kind of stinks because there's so many people that were into it, like you, like me, who aren't traditionally, you know, big time soccer fans throughout the year. There's a red card given, and it's only allowed to be changed over by the officials. And our red card was changed over by a politician.
Yeah.
And it says in the rules, politicians aren't supposed to get involved. And it's the first time it's happened that a red card's been overturned since 1962, and that still wasn't done by a politician. And really, the penalty is you're kicked out of the World Cup next time it comes around by doing what we did. So even if we won, it would have felt dirty. The fact that we lost is even more embarrassing. When we cheated, it put our best player on the field, our best striker on the field. And it just, before the game started, it felt bad. It was like, I don't care anymore. That's how it kind of felt. Like you couldn't win anymore if you're the United States. The whole world knew we cheated.
This is the circus we're living in.
Yeah.
This is the circus. Well, you know, in a weird way, it's like, luckily we didn't win because the world would have been extra mad.
Yeah.
But here's my one question about the guy getting the red card. Was that penalty a little harsh though? Was it?
Yes, it was. It was. It didn't make sense.
So then there's that part.
Yeah, that happens. That's the one thing about soccer. There's one official on the field, and they make mistakes. And if he makes a mistake, he makes a mistake. Yeah. Did everybody think that was ridiculous? 100%. But the fact that we called in a favor and then we got our asses kicked anyway, and then Belgium completely goofed on us after the game. They went into the locker room and they all played YMCA and did the Trump dance, making fun of Donald Trump for calling in the favor. And it was so many FUs all over the place right back at us. It was embarrassing. We played terribly. We played awful.
Well, yeah. I'm a little speechless because it like in the current times that makes sense. It's very fitting.
Yeah, I hate to say it. I felt like the rest of the world was feeling the same way. You know, and I think as a country, we've put on a really good show as far as hosts go. Because you keep seeing these videos of people coming here that never been in the United States, saying how much they love it.
Yeah.
I mean, they love crazy things that we don't even think about. They love ice and drinks. They love that they could go get refills on Diet Sprite. You know, they love Buc-ee's
ranch. They were trying to. Did you see that the TSA had all these bottles of ranch? Like you can't.
They think Texas Roadhouse is the greatest restaurant of all time. I mean, it's wild to watch what they love. Waffle House, it's blowing their mind.
Yeah. That's great though. That is so fun.
Yeah.
I wish I would have been on top of that. I could have been selling, you know, you can buy ranch seasoning in a packet.
Oh, there you go.
Nobody told them about that you can take over TSA. So I like, all you have to do is mix it with your mayonnaise when you get home.
You know what? When my wife's family comes from Italy to visit, when they go back, they load up their suitcases with pancake mix, like Bisquick, because they can't get it there. And so pancakes are the big thing that they always have for 20 years that I've watched them. They bring a empty suitcase and load it up with pancake mix. They love it.
Somebody needs to explain to them that they can concoct their own with better ingredients from where they come from, and the pancakes will be 10 times better.
They aren't interested. They aren't interested.
They
They like the way they
instant.
like the way they've been doing it. Yeah, they like the way they've been doing it. Yeah.
I love when people come here and they're like, they look in our grocery stores and they like, you guys package everything.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, it's killing us. And that's why we are the #1 cancer population.
Yeah.
Hello, folks. Yeah, that just silly. You know what I did yesterday that was so fun? I treated myself. Have you ever heard of this website called Resort Pass? I have no affiliation with them.
No.
Let me just preface with that. It's called Resort Pass. And what you can do is buy day passes at hotels.
Okay.
And some of them you actually can get like a room where you don't sleep there, but you can use the room like for the day if you have work to do or you need a quiet space. And then you can use all the amenities of the hotel.
Oh, nice.
Right. The other thing you can do, which I love, is you can rent like a cabana or day beds or something like this. Now, I love a cabana. I have always had one. So like I was so spoiled my whole life, like having a cabana and a fire pit and a pool, and like my backyard was a resort. And I really, really miss that part of my life. Someday I hope to get it back. So I saw this deal for this really big cabana at a local hotel up by Universal Studios, where the pool looks really great. Just everything about it looks really great. There's ping pong and foosball and like life-size chess, a pool, a hot tub, and this cabana. So it came with 6 wristbands. So, and I'm like, I'll be damned. I'm gonna do this. And it was a Tuesday where I only had like a couple little things that I was easy to like cancel and switch. And Keegan had nothing. And I was like, rarely do these days come up. And let's go. I'm gonna do my forbidden talk. The weather has been fucking beautiful. It has not been overcast, which it normally is this time of year. It has been sunny. And I was like, I am taking advantage of this. I got us that cabana. I'm going to tell you something. We had the best time. So it was myself and Keegan. And then I said, invite 4 friends. Let's go. And we just had such a beautiful day. It was everything I expected and wanted it to be. And the girls were just having so much fun. And then they left for a while and walked on City Walk. So I had it to myself for like a little while, quiet and like just laying there. I can lay by a pool or lay by the ocean. I can lay by a body of water all day. Like all my problems go away. I don't think about anything negative. The laughter, everybody's happy when they're in a pool or in the ocean, right? Unless they're drowning. But on those occasions, and I've witnessed those are no fun. But everybody's always happy, like jumping in the pool. Like, so it's just like, I don't know. It's just the energy is wild and contagious, and I love it. And so I had the best day. So
That's
if you
awesome.
ever like want to treat yourself and you want that cabana by that pool, but you don't, to get a hotel room on top of it, cabanas go for like $800 at the bottom. Like they're expensive. And I got this for under $200. I just
good deal.
Yeah. Good deal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it came with like a free fruit bowl and waters, and the guy was great. It comes with a waiter too, and he was fantastic. So yeah, we just had the best day. I highly recommend that if you ever feel like treating yourself a little bit. And you can also just get like just a lounge chair, which would have been like $30 or something. But I highly recommend that if you ever are thinking like, I want to go lay by the pool at a fancy hotel, you can, and you don't have to get the hotel room.
I like it. I like it. There you go. Something to do during the summer. I mean, some people always think, what am I going to do during the summer? What do I do pass the time?
Yeah.
Good idea.
And it gets hot. And like it's like a little staycation. Like I literally felt like I had a vacation. So it was fantastic.
Good deal. Good deal.
I have a product alert.
Okay.
Baby oil.
Baby oil.
Now I know what you're thinking.
Well, I know what
I
I would normally be
you're
thinking, but I know you, so I know it's not the same thing.
We are not going to talk about P. Diddy and any kind of freak off or
Oh, I
anything.
wasn't thinking that. I thought you were gonna. I was thinking tanning is what I was thinking.
Oh, and that too. Don't do that. We don't actually want to put this on our bodies. Mineral oil, baby oil, any brand. This is something that I always keep in my closet, in my pantry, and I'm going to tell you something about this. It gets off anything that's like sticky, right? So if you have like a sticker you can't get off, baby oil. One time I had something like on the rims of my car, and I took it to the car wash. They couldn't get it off, and he's like using some stinky chemical, and he's like, I don't know what it is. I just can't get it off. I bring it home, I wiped some baby oil on it, came right off.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of like a game changer, and it doesn't damage anything.
Yeah.
So I go to the beach on 4th of July. Now, I don't know if you've ever done this. I think most people have. If you've been to the beach, you step in some tar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think right now you're shocking a lot of people who don't live in California, don't understand what you're saying. But it's true. I remember the first time that happened to me. I was like, how'd I get tar on me?
Yeah. Well, because we drill off the coast. And so there's oil leaking all the time.
I was like 8 years old, could not figure out why there's tar on me. We did not use baby oil. We used like WD-40. They're spraying it on me. Yeah.
Right? The people go for stuff like that, which is so toxic, full of chemicals. Yeah. Cheap baby oil. Well, yeah, I've always used baby oil. And in places like Hawaii, even sometimes the resorts will have like little baby oil pads, like little packets, so that by the showers, so that you can like wipe it off. Well, we go to the beach. Now, when I say I stepped in it, Dave, I really regret not taking a picture, but I was in such a panic. I didn't think to take a picture. I mean, I stepped in it to a point where it felt like somebody had glued like a sole of a shoe onto the bottom of my foot. It was oozing through my toes, and it took up about 75% of one foot. And I would say about 35% of the other foot.
Oh my God.
And I'm going, oh my God. Now, I don't really realize that I've done it until Keegan and I were going to go walk around a little bit. And I had my shoes in my hand, and we're running through the sand. And I'm like, this is extra hot. And something on my feet feels thick, like something, it just all fell off, right? And I was like, I must have stepped in tar. But I'm running, and it's burning so bad because the tar is heating up from the hot sand and is now burning, like when hot cheese sticks to you. My feet are burning. So I get to the end of the sand, and I look at the bottom of my foot, and I'm like, this is this cannot be for real. So I find a rock, and I'm trying to like scrape. Now, this is how thick it is that I've got a pointy rock, and I'm digging with all of my strength, and I can't even feel it on my foot. I'm just trying to get like the most part off, like some of it off. So I go, Keegan's looking at me like she has no idea what's going on. She's like, what is that? And I am going, I have to find baby oil. So I am now running through this beach town that's kind of like packed with screaming teenagers and drunk people. And I'm furious. I'm barefoot. My feet are just on fire. Like I can't even explain the pain. And I'm running. I can't find a store that sells baby oil. They're like, some of the tourist places have tar removal. I'm like, I just want baby oil. I find it a place they don't have tar removal. Well, there's a Vons up the street, so I am just hightailing it to a Vons. I buy the baby oil. I go sit outside, and I'm like just pouring it all over my foot and letting it marinate, and I've got all these big paper towels from the butcher, and I'm scraping it off. And it's finally like it's breaking down, and now it's like brown all over my foot. And these kids walk by. Bunch of kids, and he goes, oh my God, look, she stepped in shit.
Yeah. A lot of shit. You fucker.
And I know, and I'm horrified at this point because I don't want him to think I stepped in shit, and I don't want him traumatized thinking back that lady who stepped in dog shit outside of Vons. I go, no, it's tar. And he goes, oh. And now everything's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the baby oil got it off in minutes, kid you not, and like a dream. So I said to myself, I am filling up a little travel size bottle of baby oil. I am putting in my beach bag, and it is not going anywhere ever. I will never again be at the beach without a bottle of baby oil.
Oh my God. How old was the kid that said
he was young. I would say he was probably like 12.
Yeah.
So it was that age where he would have always remembered.
Oh, yeah, he would have.
The lady outside of his bonds.
Yeah. When he goes back to school, what did he do this summer? I saw this lady stepping in a giant pile of shit. Damn it.
It was comical. It was definitely like, it was a hiccup in my day.
God dang, all of a sudden you thought you're going to the beach and you got the La Brea tar pits.
I mean, it's all going through my head. I'm like, this killed animals.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just sitting there like, it just, and I'm thinking like the toxins of it just soaking the bottom of your foot is the most porous place on your body.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here thinking I'm melting. I'm like, not only is there tar on the bottom of my foot being soaked in, but I've got it on a skillet because I'm walking around on hot surfaces. So it's like melting into my foot.
Oh my gosh. Did you go back to the beach or was that the end of your beach?
No, we went back and
did you get a parking spot? I was like, you just gave away your parking spot.
No, Dave, I was running. I wasn't going to put on shoes. I had expensive Birkenstocks with me. I wasn't going to put my foot into a shoe. I wasn't going to step on my brake or my gas pedal. No, I went running because there were stores everywhere. And I thought somebody's going to have it.
Oh my gosh.
And you're like, one more block.
Jeez.
Yeah, no, I didn't drive. And you're right. I had a great parking spot. So there was no way I was giving that up. I was not going to let it ruin my day.
Good deal. And you still have all 10 fingers in both your eyes. So you did okay on 4th of July with fireworks. You did good.
We didn't see any fireworks. Can you imagine? There were no fireworks. And Keegan kept talking about wanting to go to Newport Beach. And I was like, no, the only place I would go is Huntington Beach. So apparently Newport Beach went viral, like on TikTok and all of these places. And everyone's like, she's like, Mom, no, everyone's going to Newport this year. Well, apparently she was right. And did you see 400 people were arrested and somebody died? And like, thank God I didn't let her go there.
Yeah.
That was her plan that fell through.
Wow. Yeah, no, I saw that. I also saw a kid blow his hand off, the firecracker went off the second he lit it, blew his hand off. Yeah,
you have to know what you're doing.
Yeah. It's there's something every year. You always hear a story every year.
Yeah. But this is I talk about silver linings, everything. Keegan had these plans for a week. All these kids were going to go. The one boy was going to drive. They were going to go to Newport for the day and watch the fireworks and drive home. And it fell through, and she was so sad. She was so upset, and so I took her to the beach. But in my mind, I'm like, well, that's exactly why the plans fell through.
Yeah. There you go. No, it's interesting. That age, I mean, your daughter's still pretty young. She's in high school, but it's a great time. I mean, she's in a time of life where it really is a lot of fun, a lot of memories, a lot of fun, a lot of things you don't think about as an adult that you stress out about. Even though she's probably thinking life's really hard, with homework and social stuff, but it's really a good time. It's just, when she said her plans fell through, you can understand why she was upset.
For sure. That's why I had to make it up. And I feel like I try to facilitate and kind of emphasize all the good times. That's why I wanted her to invite all her friends and I didn't invite all my friends to the pool. You know what I mean? Because adults can do this for themselves, but kids can't. And this is these are the summers of their life. These are the summers that are changing them and that they're going to remember. Oh, which reminds me, I rented 16 candles and we watched it. And she liked it. She really, really liked it. And I was so happy. So
did she laugh at the things that you laughed at when you were a kid?
She did. She laughed and she thought Long Duck Dawn was amazing. So I was like, she's definitely my kid. Definitely my kid.
You didn't show them a picture of what these people look like now, did you?
No,
Freak her out?
no.
All right.
No,
Yeah,
but the one thing is when you go to rent it, sometimes the pictures of like their current pictures will pop up, and I was
oh
like,
wow.
I don't click off that, click off of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Jake
Right.
Ryan's in his 60s now, and he looks like he's in his 60s. You know, it's kind of changes everything.
Yeah. I wanted her to see it like in
Yeah.
its glory, and it did not disappoint. It was so good. So if you haven't watched it in a while, I rented it on Apple, and that's $3.99 I've spent in a long time.
Yeah. The grandparents are underrated in that movie.
Oh,
I love the grandparents in that movie.
Everybody watching it back, I laughed at things I didn't understand or didn't get when I was younger too.
Yeah.
Yes. So funny. And so there were so many inappropriate things, and I was like, oh my gosh. Now, if that had been my older daughter, she would have been offended and like mad, but this one kind of rolls with it.
Good. Good.
They do use the R word a lot, and they do use
do.
the F word, the 3-word F word. Now derogatory, you know.
Yeah.
We used it all the time.
Yeah.
So she didn't flinch. She laughed and knew that it was, of the era, and wasn't mad at me.
If I'm not mistaken, that movie was rated PG, right? It was before right. There's no PG-13. It was PG.
Yeah.
And then
go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I mean, right towards the beginning of the movie, the girl's topless in the shower.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's PG,
Yeah. And I kind of made it up to be more in my head than when I watched it back. It really is not that bad. I can kind of see why at the time that was PG. Yes, you saw her boobs, but it's because they wanted you to know like how perfect they thought the girl's body was. And it's quick. Yeah. And it is one like gratuitous just close up of her tits, but it's like, but that's kind of it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's kind of it. And then there's some inappropriateness where Jake Ryan takes his current girlfriend and gives her to the kid to take home and do whatever, to go have a good time with, and it facilitates him with like a Rolls Royce, and like throws the drunk girl in the car and
He had sex with her. I mean, nowadays people would lose their mind. And as inappropriate as it was that Jake Ryan gives the girl to the boy, the other part of that is the boy, the Michael Hall character, right? He's such a likable guy in the movie that he's like a gentleman to her when he does get her in the car and she's all drunk and all over him. He's like, behave yourself. Where are your manners? Who raised you? So it redeemed itself in a big way. Yeah. And then apparently they have consensual drunk sex in a parking lot in the parked car. Yeah.
So it wasn't date rape. Neither one of them. He doesn't remember it. She does, and she was the pursuer of it. So it's like it kind of still was innocent towards the end. Do you know what I mean? It still was like rowdy teenagers being okay. So that was the only part that I really cringed at, and I was like, oh my gosh, you can't give girls to boys when they're passed out drunk. You can't do that.
The line I use all the time, because in movies, my friends and I, maybe it's a guy thing more than a girl thing, but we repeat lines in everyday life from a movie. We just throw lines at each other from movies all the time. But do you remember the scene where Anthony Michael Hall goes to his friends and he knocks on the window? He wants a picture. He wants proof that he has her. And they make all that noise, and he tells them to be quiet. People work in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I was like, people work in this neighborhood. Gets all mad. But whenever my friends come to visit and they're loud talking outside their cars in the street, I'm like, hey, shut the fuck up. People work in this neighborhood. And like, what? Like, what neighborhood do they don't work in? What are you talking about?
And you know what? And I loved that line too as an adult, because it wasn't "shh, be quiet, we're gonna get in trouble." It was "shh, be quiet, people work in this neighborhood." Yeah, it was. I appreciated that too. It was funny.
No, and there are a lot of super famous people. People that came up to be, very famous. Even the girl that's on the bus who has the busted jaw, who's wiping her mouth, with the water fountain, and it's so great. It's such a good movie. I think it's my favorite movie of the 80s. I
Now,
think
did
it's my
she
favorite
have a
show.
busted jaw, or was she a girl with the scoliosis?
Oh, I don't know.
I feel like
Is that
maybe it
right?
was a scoliosis brace, because
Maybe it
remember
was.
back in the day they used to
Yeah.
put, if you had scoliosis, they used to make you wear a brace.
Oh, I didn't know anyone that had scoliosis, so maybe you're right. I don't know.
I don't know. Now I got to figure that out.
Yeah.
Because at first, like when in my memories of it, I thought it was like a whole head thing.
Yeah.
And then when I watched it, I was like, oh, it's not a head thing. It's up to the chin.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like if she'd had, I don't know. I got to look at it now. I want to know.
Now I'm curious too. All right. No, I was laugh at that, but
Joan
God, dude.
Cusack.
Yes, exactly right. Joan Cusack has been in a million things, and her brother John Cusack's in the movie too because he's one of his goofy friends.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Who was
so
so
good.
amazing too. So he
Yeah,
was so good in it.
so good. Yeah, no, I really enjoy. I'm glad you showed it to her. I'm
Yeah.
glad.
I'm really glad. I was so
Yeah.
tickled that she liked it because, yeah, it just gave me all the feels.
Are you gonna play? Are you gonna do any others like Breakfast Club or any other ones for?
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I just feel like that is the one. Like that to me was the funny. Like that was my favorite.
Yeah.
And I felt like maybe I watched the other ones, although I did enjoy them. I don't think they hit like
that one.
Like 16 Candles did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's my favorite. I literally have that movie memorized every line.
Yeah.
You know, that's how many times I've seen it. Yeah, that's funny.
Even my daughter goes, lake, big lake. And it warmed my heart. I was like, oh my God, thank God you just said that. Yeah. She said that to me. Lake, big lake.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. So as I said, politically correct in today's day and age, there's a lot of things that don't go. When they are like, you know, Grandpa Fred sitting there calling the police that Long Dick Dong's missing and he's describing what he's wearing. Did she laugh? Did you laugh?
I'm not really sure because I wasn't watching her face through it all, but she definitely was like smiling and enjoying through the whole thing. Like she was.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I was like when kids that were our age at least still think the same things we did were funny. Otherwise, it makes me feel old as hell. Like I'm just not connected anymore. You know?
Yeah.
Just not. That's cool. That is cool. Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm glad he had a good fourth then overall outside of the tar.
Yeah. Did you?
You know what? I coached baseball for a couple games. Then I went and spent time with family up in Carlsbad, which is, you know, northern San Diego, and by a pool and a bunch of people. You know, honestly, this is my. You know, I kind of joke around. I don't recognize faces anymore. Like I have a hard time with. I always had a hard time with names and putting them together. But man, there are people that I realize I've been around with, not family members, but I can't recognize who the hell I'm talking to. And then they talk to me like they know me. And I can't imagine what it's like, what it was ever like for you. But I think I told you I was in a restaurant about a month ago and a person walks over to me and I gave him my drink and I said, can I get a refill on this Diet Coke? And the guy goes, I don't work here. I came here to say hi. And I was like, holy shit, that was embarrassing, you know? Yeah. And I looked at my wife. I go, we got to get the hell out of here. You know how embarrassing that was? I just gave my drink to a guy and asked for a refill. I go, he doesn't work here. He just came here to say hi.
Yeah.
And then I was at this event, this party on, obviously on the 4th. And the girl next to me, I'm talking to her and she had a daughter around your daughter's age and talking about high school and playing softball. And we're having a full conversation. And then my wife says to me, that's so-and-so. You've known her 35 years. And I go, 35 years? She was my niece's like best friend for 35 years. Now I know she's changed as she's gotten older, but what the F? You know, like I had no idea who the hell that was. No idea. And I'm like, this happens to me way too much where I'm like, do I have a major issue or is it just happens with age? I don't know.
I wish I had answers for you, Dave.
Yeah, I'm like, do I have a tumor? What is happening? I cannot recognize anybody anymore. It's so embarrassing. I'm so afraid to leave the house at this point. It is. I don't even know what to say. I feel like such a jerk. I'm just nice to everybody because I don't know who I know and who I don't know.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. You just be nice to everybody and talk to everybody. And I feel you because there's people that will say like, oh, we met at this party, you know, back in 1980. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like, yeah. I've met so many people, but I also am not the best, like at remembering names and like, I'm just not, there's some people that just know who everybody on the planet is. I feel like, there's those people that, whether they've met them or not, and they're in the news or in politics or in sports or the people at the high school, they just know who everybody is and what's going on with everybody.
That's my son. My son can do that. I can't do that at all.
I don't know what that is. That's a special skill.
Yeah.
And I don't have it. So
I don't have it either.
Yeah.
And then you don't want people to say, that's Brandon and Nicole. What a bitch. Act like she know us,
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to do that when that wasn't your intention. You just can't recall. But you must have met so many people from the time you're 5 years old through now. Of how are you supposed to remember all these people?
Sure.
And which guys were friends and who were family friends and who were people in the business. I mean, it's a whole different game all the way around for you.
Yeah. And all the parties I've been to.
All the time at Cloud9 at Knott's Berry Farm. I mean, shit.
All those nights at the Roxbury, at the Viper Room. I don't know. Yeah. That's a tough one. And I really try to be polite to people all the time. And it's not that I try to. I genuinely am friendly. If you're friendly, I'm friendly. And and the other day I was rude to somebody and Keegan goes, "Oh my God." And I was like, I know. She was getting on my nerves. So I was waiting for a parking spot. This was on 4th of July. I got an amazing parking spot. Now I have a disabled placard because of treatment and because of surgeries and stuff like that. They don't want you, you can get a placard. So, and I don't really take that much advantage of it. I kind of leave those spaces for people and I try to find regular parking, but sometimes I'm going to use it to my advantage. It is my consolation prize from going through what I went through. And there was a spot like right where we wanted to be, prime parking, and it's green, but you can park in green unlimited with the placard.
Okay.
And the girl's pulling out and I'm like, this is amazing. Well, she's taken forever and forever. And everybody, the traffic in every direction is getting annoyed, right? Because just come on, get out of the spot. And she's backing out, and then she stops halfway. She rolls down her window, and she wants to say something to me, so I have to roll down my window. And she's like, "It's only 5-minute parking." And I was like, "Yeah." I was so it was rude. I was just like, because I can clearly see that, and I'm clearly waiting for the spot. And she was like, "Oh, okay, just want you to know." And I guess in a way she was doing me a favor, but you're holding everybody up. I just want to park. You're already, you're dilly-dallying. Get on with it.
It's LA too, where everybody's in a hurry and impatient. I was you're
holding
up the whole street.
It's a 2-lane street,
exactly.
And she's backed it all up. So I got to park there, and I got to park there all day.
There you go. All right, that worked out fun. It's funny you said that. I said the same thing. I think I try and be as nice to everybody as I possibly can. And the other day, I had that moment where I regretted not being nice to. It was a kid. It was like a 15-year-old kid I wasn't nice to, and then I felt bad that he tried to tell me something, and I was like, "Dude, I don't care." And the look on his face was like, "What?" And I was like, "Dude, I don't care. Like, I got shit to do." And then I felt bad about it. I mean, it's been a few days now, and I feel bad.
Are you going to say something to him?
It was a neighbor behind me. Okay. And the neighbor behind me uses their house maybe 2 weeks out of the year. Okay. I think they live in Mexico, and they use this house as a vacation house. And the kid kicked a soccer ball into my yard. So he gets my attention through the front door, and I open the door. "Can I help you?" And he goes, I kicked the ball into your yard. And I said, "Okay, I'll go get it." Well, I opened the door to go get the ball for him, and it's up on the hill. And I'm like, I'm not walking up that goddamn hill. There's brushing everywhere, So I said, "Dude, just go around the side. I'll open the door for you. I'll put the dog away. You can go up and get the ball." And so he goes up, gets the ball, and he starts explaining to me on how he ended up kicking the ball over the fence. I was like, "Dude, I don't care." I go, "You got the ball." And I know English was a second language for him. And he just looks at me. He's uncomfortable right before he leaves. And he goes, "Today, 4th of July, right?" And I said, "Yes." And he just goes, "Go America." He gives me the fist bump and goes, "Go America." And he leaves. And I was like, I made him uncomfortable. And I was like, it shouldn't have been a jerk to a 15-year-old kid. It was an accident. I wasn't pissed he kicked the ball. I just didn't care about the story. I know how it works. You kicked it too hard. It went over the goddamn fence. Enough. You know? I know how it works. I was a kid too. I got it. But I just felt bad that I told him I don't care while he was in the middle of his story. Anyway, that was it. That was my one bad moment. I don't know what to tell you. I apologize.
I love it. Well, we're just horrible people, Dave.
They got horrible people.
The horrible in us came out. You know, sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. So I tell you what, let's get to your mailbag to show you aren't a horrible person. You're going to answer Riley's questions. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So Nicole's mailbag, it's at perfectlytwistedpod.com. You can get your questions in. The mailbag's at the top of the screen and you submit your questions. So we have 5 questions here from Riley. Okay.
All right.
The first question is, Nicole, if you were paid $1,000 for every day in a row that you could go without talking, how many days could you go?
Oh my God. Riley, I love this question. I'll tell you something. You know how they say sometimes like some things are easier said than done?
Yes.
Okay. But I have always had dreams of like going to India and going into one of the where you like enter and you commit to like 30 days of silence, those temples, and you just like nobody talks for 30 days.
Wow.
Then you like meditate and so apparently by not talking, you have like an experience, right? Now you put money on it. And you're telling me $1,000 every day. I might go that 90
days.
120 days. And walk out of there and have a really good next year.
Yeah. That's funny.
I probably could go a while, Riley.
There you go. They're pretty good.
What about you? Could you?
I think I could go. I keep saying I could do it, but I don't know. I mean, I think you'd have to put yourself in a situation like you just said, where you basically seclude yourself. But you couldn't do it in everyday life. Like you give your daughter a heads up. Hey, look, I'm not talking, but I'm gonna be in the same house as you, but I'm not gonna talk.
Well, that part would be hard, except listen, there are people who are mute in life,
yes.
Right? Like, so, and obviously we've got a large deaf community. So it's like, you could do it.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, but again, for someone whose voice works just fine, it's hard, I mean, you'd step in tar and yell fuck and you're done. You lose.
Yes.
You'd be out.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I probably would have to go away to a place, but I have fantasized about that and dreamt about that. So it has been on my radar.
All right. Next question. Nicole, would you rather be known as someone that's overly sensitive or overly insensitive?
Well, so I kind of feel like I'm known for both. Like, it depends who you ask.
I don't know if that's a good thing to be known for both.
Yeah, I'm known for both, for sure. Because I feel like sometimes, like you and your I don't care to the 15-year-old kid, I feel like I give that energy a lot. Like, or like I feel like when things are being talked about too much, like word salad is happening, or like when people need to talk about their feelings too much, I get a little bit like, all right.
Yeah.
I don't care. No, I'm just kidding. Not I don't care, but I can be a little bit like, okay, like get to it and get over it and work it out. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not talking about kids, I'm talking about adults. On the other hand, like, I can hit a breaking point. I can hit a breaking point and then feel very sensitive and like just cry or storm off like a little brat. Like, for instance, I was getting it from my teenager for like days on end, just that teenage attitude. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, oh, and I just over and over and over and over, and something happened, and it just, again, she was like, to me, and I was like, I can't. And like I welled up and like stormed off and like went into the house and shut the door. Went into my bedroom and shut the door. I just was like, so then I was being oversensitive, and to some people I'm insensitive. So I don't know.
Okay.
I guess I would rather be sensitive.
Yes.
But really sensitive people tend to get on my nerves. Like people who overfeel everything.
But what do you want people to say behind your back? Man, that Nicole, she's insensitive. You'd rather be known as sensitive, right? You don't want to be known as someone who doesn't care about anyone else but themselves. You come off as
Well, that's
self-centered.
selfish.
Yeah.
Right? So they're a little bit different.
A little bit, you know? Yeah.
I'm really a mixed bag of both, but I guess okay, fine. I'll go with sensitive.
Yeah.
But everybody knows I'm not. But
nobody
yeah.
hates a person. Nobody hates a person that's sensitive. They do hate people who are insensitive.
I disagree. I don't love a sensitive person, Dave.
Really? Oh my God.
I don't.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, no. If someone's insensitive, I'll just go, I got time for their bullshit. They don't care about anybody. They're selfish.
Well, that's different. So like being sensitive, like being aware of other people's feelings and like taking other people's feelings into consideration. I'm all about that. Like I'm not late for people. I let people know if I'm going to cancel in advance if I can. Like I really respect people, but people who are like oversensitive about everything, get their feelings hurt over everything, drives me bananas.
Okay. Next question from Riley says, Nicole, would you rather have great parents or great friends?
You can't have both.
Okay.
I want the best of both worlds. I think parents because they it starts from such a young age that it sort of molds you. So like childhood trauma like does something to your brain, and I personally have been having to work through that in life. And I always wonder, like, what if I had that nurturing instead of what I got? And at the same time, like, what if, right? So I don't want to get into that, but I guess I would have to choose parents on that. What about you, Dave?
I think the smart answer would be parents. I mean, in life, we all want great friends and people. We surround ourselves with people we trust and love us. But I think you're right. The people who mold your life first are going to be, your parents. Your upbringing.
Yeah.
I think that's the right answer.
Yeah.
Nicole, who has the most famous smile?
Who has the most famous smile?
Okay, I have two people that just jumped right into my head. If you're thinking, Magic Johnson and Julia Roberts.
Okay, Julia Roberts is a good one. That's a really, really good one. Huh. That's a really good one, Dave. I think you nailed it. A really good smell. Cheshire Cat.
Say that again.
The Cheshire Cat. Yeah, Julia Roberts really has that, like, lights up a room when she smiles. Didn't Christy Brinkley? I don't know why Christy Brinkley keeps like floating in my head.
Great smile.
Yeah, great smell, great teeth, right? Like all natural. And we're talking about when people had all their real grill, right? When everybody had all their own teeth and
yeah. Stevie Wonder had a great smile. Yep.
Yeah, that one's now. I'm going to be looking at everybody's smiles. I think Julia Roberts, you nailed it with that. Yeah.
All right, last question. Nicole, what is the best decision you have ever made?
I
don't know. You haven't hasn't happened yet? You're still waiting?
Riley, I really hope my best decision hasn't happened yet. Because part of me wants to say, like, selling my home and being a stay-at-home parent for Keegan.
Yeah.
And then the other side of me is like, But did you fuck her all the way up by being around her all?
Did she go with you to Devon's when you're trying to get the tar off your foot?
Yes. She's
okay.
standing there looking at me like.
Was she embarrassed when that kid said, "Oh my God, you stepped in shit"?
Yeah, I was the most annoying person on earth when I stepped in this tar. Okay,
Yeah.
like that's how a 14-year-old felt about it, and I think she had very little sympathy for me, and I was just getting on her nerves.
Oh,
and
that's funny.
This is the shit you deal with 14-year-olds, right?
Of course.
So part of me is like, yeah, I traded in like, my investment monetarily to be able to survive and be at home. So we had less, but we had time together. So I feel like that was probably it. And then I and this is going to be so weird, but I feel like taking my cancer journey and turning it into like a mental positive journey for myself and like really digging deep and working hard on myself. I feel like that was kind of the best decision I ever made too, was to turn it into something productive.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Riley, appreciate the questions.
Fantastic. Riley, you get some sort of like award. I'm giving you a high five through the screen. Those were hilarious and amazing. And thank you so much.
So Nicole's mailbag, again, if you want to ask your own questions, you can get them in on perfectlytwistedpod.com. Again, the mailbag is at the top of the screen, and it is that easy.
Catch you next time.